Another form title video. In this video, we'll talk about the adjust contract clauses dynamically using word add-in. So if you have contracts and you don't want to make 6, 7, or 8 different copies, and you just want to adjust clauses dynamically using word add-in, then this is a video for you. So let's get started. What I'll do is I'm going to go to Microsoft Word. This is my contract. It's just a demo contract with 3 points: services, termination clause. And then what I've done is I've mapped full name, contract, full name, street, city, postcode, state, and country. And I'll show you where they are in Salesforce. So in Salesforce, I've just got client details, contact name, account name, billing address. So what are we going to do? Okay, what I'm going to do is I've got a status in my contract here called, so I've got multiple statuses. I've got activated, draft, show termination clause. The one we're going to focus on is show termination clause. And here's what's going to happen. I'm going to write a condition in this Word document. I'm going to say only show this paragraph if status equals termination, show termination clause. Otherwise, it's hidden. And what you'll also find is the bullet points here will automatically adjust dynamically. So obviously this 3 will become 2. And when this is shown, this will become 3 again. Very, very cool functionality. All right, let's get started. I'm going to write the clause now. We'll say, first thing we'll do is we'll insert a hidden field. So we'll insert a hidden field. We'll say, okay, add field. We'll say dynamic. And we're going to get it from our contract. And our field is going to be status. That's all we're going to do. Save. And that's it. And now we're going to write a condition. So click on insert / edit condition. And here we're going to write a condition. We're going to say, okay, my object is going to be contract. And my field is going to be contract status. Sorry, it should just be status. Okay. And equals other value, and I'm just going to say the value is going to be show termination clause. Go back here, we'll say show termination clause. Very, very simple. That's all we're doing. We're just typing in show termination clause. And what this will do is, if you read this, it will say please configure one or more value rules for the element you selected. If the condition is met, the element will be shown. If not, it will be hidden. So what we're saying is, if the condition is met, then the termination clause will be displayed. If status is not termination clause, it will be hidden. That's all we've done here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to push this to our form. So let's go ahead and do that. Log into my add-in here. So we'll say publish. And I've got a form in form Titan. We'll go ahead and publish that. We'll override it. Okay, done. Now it's time to go back into our form. So all I've done is just map the form directly from Salesforce into my form Titan form builder. Okay, wait, this is my form. And all I've done is I've got full name, contract status, address, and submit. So I've got a full name, address, and then contract status mapped. And I'll show you where I've got a hidden field, which is what we're going to be populating in our parameters. So I'll just show you what sort of integration I've set up. I've set up a get first. We can ignore this for now. This one pulls all the contract info. It will use contract ID equals the contract ID hidden field. And then based on that, it will bring back all the data here. So that's very, very easy. And then the same thing will happen in a push as well. So let me just authenticate, make sure I'm logged in. And then if I go into my push, we've got a contract update push. We always said, okay, we're going to go ahead and update based on contract ID hidden field. And these are the fields we can update. Apply. And then finally, I'm going to say create a file of the Word document that we've just created. That's it, in Salesforce files. So once that's set up, I'll go back into my word mapping, check everything's good. Yep, enabled, preview before submit. Let me check my signatures. Yep, enable, Titan, mandatory. Perfect. Let's go and test this out. So right now the status is activated, so we shouldn't really see the show termination clause in our contract. So I'll type in F4059. It's pulled the data through, click submit. The document's going to load now. And as you can see, our termination clause is not in the contract itself, but everything else is. You know, I can sign the contract if I wish, and I'm good to go. But there is no termination clause because the status isn't termination clause, and you can see that it's already rendered the design, which used to be number 3 point to number 2 point. Very, very dynamic. And now look what happens if I go back and change the status back to show termination clause. So if I save it, and then if I just refresh this, it says show termination clause, and if I submit it, wait for the document to load, there is our show termination clause. And look, the point 2 has been rendered correctly, and that's changed dynamically as well. So a very, very cool functionality, and it's pulled through the name, the street, all the address that we had, and what we're going to do is just simply going to go ahead and sign this. So let's go ahead and we'll sign a very random one. Signature's done, confirm that. We're going to continue. The form has been submitted. Let's go back in that integration log and see what's happened with that specific submission. It's been created, the contract's been updated. I'll go back in my contract. There's my contract there. It's not available. Salesforce is a little bit slow. So we'll just open it back here. And I'm just going to bring it over here to show you how it looks like once it's rendered. So you can see the termination clause is in. There's our signature. There's our address and other details. And we're good to go. And that's how it's done. That's how you pull through termination clauses or any clause within the contract dynamically by writing conditions and have it automatically render the bullet points that you have in there.